Hi students, good morning. Welcome back to online video class. You are watching class 5 subject social lesson 16 First War of Independence part 1. You know, India won independence in 1947 from the British. Who were they? When did they come to India? And how did they start ruling our country? The British came to India as traders but became rulers. How? Come, let's discuss. Did the British want to get more influence or control over India? British wants to rule India because they want to be more wealthy. They can have more goods from India which make themselves richer like indigo. Indigo is a blue dye. Tea, coffee, silk, etc. India has always been famous for its spices, textiles, jewelry and pearls. British want to rule India because that makes them more powerful that no country can defeat them. British want to get more goods from India because they can earn more money and they can use more goods that are from different countries. Look at the picture of Vasco da Gama. He was a Portuguese explorer who discovered a new sea route to India and reached Calicut. Calicut is in Kerala. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to come to India and start trading. They built trading centers at Calicut, Cochin, etc. The main items of trade were spices, silk and gold. Now let's see the fact of spices. Spices were used to preserve food and make it tasty too. There were no refrigerators in those days. 17th century, several European traders arrived in India. First came the Portuguese, then the Dutch, followed by the French and finally the English. Each of them formed their own East India Company to trade with India. Now we are going to talk about East India Company and British rule. How the British expanded their territory by fighting and winning important battles and how they expanded their control throughout the Indian subcontinent. In ancient period, many kings and emperors ruled India. Mughal Emperor Jahangir, who allowed East India Company to establish their trading center. Sir Thomas Roy, an English ambassador, met Jahangir and got permission to trade. What is meaning of trade? Trade means buying and selling goods. When the permission was granted, the English East India Company quickly established factories in Surat, Bombay, now known as Mumbai, Calcutta, now known as Kolkata, Madras, now known as Chennai, and many other places. So, look at the picture. From this, you can look at their strategy closely. They were trying to dominate these coastal areas because if you want to occupy a country, you have to get through their coastal barriers. Along with East India Company, there were also some other foreign powers like Dutch, Portuguese and French operating in those coastal areas. In 18th century, British East India Company started to maintain an army. Now, big question comes to everyone's mind. Who gave these foreign powers permission to maintain an army? Unfortunately, the answer is our own Indian rulers, mostly the Mughals of India. In the beginning, East India Company only had permission to have security guards to protect their trade. But in the middle of 18th century, East India Company and other foreign powers convinced Indian kings that their business and trade need to be protected, and for that they need to maintain a fully equipped army. And finally, East India Company started the game of power and dominance. Now let us see the battles one by one which shaped Indian history. Battle of Plassey took place in the year 1757. It was a struggle between English East India Company and Nawab of Bengal. This time, Siraj-ud-Dawla became the Nawab of Bengal and English East India Company was under the command of Robert Clive. Coming to the question, why were the British came to control the territory of Nawab of Bengal? Bengal was rich in area in terms of agricultural production. The land was fertile, which could easily provide huge land revenue to the British. Bengal also provided trading opportunities to the East India Company. For all these reasons, the East India Company started trouble Siraj-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Bengal. Siraj-ud-Dawla was a powerful ruler, so the company wanted to change their ruler. East India Company tried to help opponents of Siraj-ud-Dawla to become next Nawab of Bengal to protect their factories. The company started fortification at Kazim Bazar. The company also stopped to pay taxes to Siraj-ud-Dawla. Siraj-ud-Dawla asked to company to stop political interference, stop fortification and pay tax regularly, but the demands of Siraj was not accepted by the company. Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to English factory at Kazim Bazar. There he captured company officials and drove Englishmen. Then Nawab marched to the company's fort at Calcutta. Now let's see how did Robert Clive or English East India Company responds to the action of Siraj-ud-Dawla. Initially, the English East India Company found difficult to deal with Siraj-ud-Dawla, but soon the commander of East India Company, Robert Clive, played a trick and led his army to Plassey. Robert Clive managed to secure the support of Siraj-ud-Dawla's chief commander Mir Zafar. Clive also promised Mir Zafar that he will make him the Nawab after crushing Siraj-ud-Dawla. Mir Zafar also agreed the deal. And finally, Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated by the English East India Company and English East India Company won the battle. The Battle of Plassey was the company's first victory on Indian soil. Mir Zafar became the Nawab of Bengal, but the East India Company used Zafar as a puppet and forced him to follow company's instruction. Thus, the Nawab led the position only for the namesake, and the real power was in the hands of the British. Now it's time to write lesson 5 continents and oceans question and answer in classwork. Take a fresh page in your classwork note, write lesson name, lesson number and date using black pen. Next, exercise C, answer the following in few words. First question, list all the continents of the world from smallest to largest. Answer is Australia, Europe, Antarctica, South America, North America, Africa and Asia. Second one, what are oceans? Answer, an ocean is one large continuous body of water. It is vast and surrounds the continents. Third question, name the desert found in Asia, Africa and South America. Answer, deserts found in Asia are the Gobi Desert and the Arabian Desert. Sahara Desert is in Africa. The Atacama Desert is in South America. Fourth one, name the longest and the largest rivers in the world. Answer, the Amazon is the world largest river. Nile is the longest river in the world. Use black pen to write the question and use blue pen to write the answer. Is it clear, students? Next, part D. Answer the following in detail. First one, write a note on the largest continent of Earth. For this, refer page number 27. You can find a paragraph about Asian continent. Write that paragraph fully. Second one, what are the main physiographic features of South America? For this, refer page number 28. You can see the description about South America. From that paragraph, you have to write about the mountains, forest, river and desert, waterfall as the answer for this question. Third one, which is the white continent and why is it called so? For this, refer page number 28. Antarctica. Subtopic is given, isn't it? So, from that third line, see the third line, it is known as the white continent. So, from there you have to write Antarctica is known as the white continent or the frozen continent because it is covered by a thick layer of permanent ice. This makes it the coldest continent in the world. Up to that you have to write. Is it clear, students? Thank you, students. Meet you all in the next video.